because school is still in session. So, the grammar has to be, back in session too. All right. So make sure to share the live, share it on whatever platform you're looking and listening from. Drop a comment, drop a question. We're talking about the quarry. We're continuing the discussion right now, right here. Bigger Biggs, the Quarry-Man. He had one. Obviously, back in the day. Bigger, what year was that? That was 2014, 15? It was when it.
We were shut down in 2011.
Is it 11? I make it worse.
Whoa. Well,
What am I thinking?
20. What? You remember the day?
Yeah, I can't forget it because it's the same day my mother died, but not the same year. It was 11th of February 20.
Oh, so it's been 11 years since your business is down.
Yeah, 11 years.
Wow. But I must commend you though. You made some really major comebacks. Despite what happened.
Thank you. I refuse to give up.
Yeah.
As resilient.
I think that's the mentality a lot of intentions should have.
I refuse.
Don't give up. Don't give up.
Exactly.
But back to what I asked you earlier. I asked you a question in regards to if you were granted that license for the quarry in Richmond.
Yeah.
You mentioned that you would have sell the locals at a substantial rate compared to if you were exporting it.
Yes.
Another thing I wanted to ask is, I know persons might say this would probably be on the government side, but as a businessman, considering what is happening down on that end with the farmers, how would you dealt with that situation? Okay. Because it would affect your business despite you. You could be a businessman and say, well, man, don't study that. The government could deal with that. But if the persons living in that area have an issue and they're talking about it, it would affect your business negatively. How would you have dealt with the farmers in that area?
Well, I am still wondering what the businessman could have really done more than what he is doing, because I think that he has been given the go ahead to operate. If it was me, I don't know how far deep he has gone with the investment. I would have hold it. I would have held it and say, you know what? I don't want to be a part of this drama. You know what I mean?
Millions of dollars in a big
Millions of dollars.
Millions.
Yes, I know $millions of dollars. That
Your equipment don't reach over now.
Like I said,
even before you get full approval, you don't reach over now.
Yeah, so that's what I said, that you have to base on what was said to him by the government. And for me, this is where you have to hold the government responsible, because hear this: the farmers is relying on the government, more so the representative that they elected in Parliament to look into their interests. So then, really and truly, as with that, Adonis Charles say that Adonis Charles, as I said, is the guy who made that really brilliant speech down there about two, 3 weeks ago, said that they elected the member to go into Parliament to be their voice. You see what I mean? So yeah, I
did read something like that.
So he is the one that,
so they don't feel represented.
Exactly. So then, for me, the businessman making his investment, and I believe that he has been given the green, and I believe he has been given the green light to go ahead. And for me, this is something that the fact that. But
the
only thing that I could have done, is to halt the project, but money involved.
Yes, but seeing like you're done in a situation now where I already brought over this stuff and then I realized, wait, there's more to it over here.
Right.
Like, and there's like a chance for you to say, let me meet with the farmers who were using the land and say, are you guys interested in a share of the company? Would you suggest something like that, or you're like, nah?
What I said earlier, and not an air here, but out there.
Yes.
If it was me, as a farmer down there, let me just flip the question. I would not have just taken a pay off and go, because the pay off you give me is just for me to live maybe a year.
Yeah.
This project going on for 30 years. How long I would have been there mining and operating for? I would have preferred to say, you know what? Let me get royalty. If I have a 5 year block of land, give me royalty.
As you talk about that, I wonder if anybody like reach out to them and say, you know what, could we get some shares in this company?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Royalty.
Give me like 1 or 200
Equity
or
share or something.
1,000.
It don't
How much would it cost to get in? You know?
It don't necessarily have to be shared in the company.
Yeah.
Royalty.
Okay.
I had
So a percentage comes.
Yes, I had a 5-year Black Land was working.
Uh-huh.
Give me royalty
For a certain period of time.
Yeah. Well, for the 30 years.
For the 30 years.
Yeah, give me royalty.
Wow.
Until they say
And you would
that's
have been
enough
open
for
to that.
investment.
I would have been open
You've
to
been
that.
open to that.
I would have been open to that. You
As
know
a
what
farmer.
I mean? Exactly, as a farmer.
Yes.
Wait, but do you think that all of that was crossing their minds? Like, even now, do you think that is something that they should consider?
You
Or
see-
could they ask for it?
You see, Christelle, well, if you listen to what took place down there, at no time there was any consulting. And this is what I do like. There was never no consultation with the lands, the persons who were occupying the land. The land was basically taken out from under them without they even knew the land was taken away from them. It's after the fact, as one guy put it, it's after the fact they knew the land's gone. And because when they saw heavy equipment this busting through the land, then they really realized, no, these equipment wasn't really down here to deal with ash cleanup. It was
Yeah, you're
something-
cleaning up the
Wow.
ash that's attached to the topsoil that is above the gold.
Exactly. Above the stack of wealth. Exactly.
Stock of wealth. Let me ask you, right? There were a couple of things that were highlighted by people, including politicians, including residents from the area. What are some of the ills, some of the things that you saw that went wrong? In addition to the issue with the farmers not being informed properly beforehand, what are some of the other issues you see attached to this on here?
Well, what I see went wrong is from the government. Point of view, because they should have gone. They should have gone there and had a consultation. And a matter of fact, the consultation should not have even been with the people of North Lee would have known. A project of this magnitude is going to have could make or break us as a country, as a people. It should have been a national consultation, because for me, a quarry of this magnitude is as a no could help to strengthen our economic situation in our country. So for me, that should have been that quarry opening should have. You know what I mean? Yes, the people of North would have been key, but it should have been a general consultation, a discussion throughout the country. It should have been a discuss among us as a people, because at the end of the day, it's our land. It's our land. The land belongs to the state, and we are the custodial as a people. It's ours. So that you can't just go and just take it up and just do what you like with it.
Another quick one, right? You had a quarry before.
Yes.
And it got shut down.
Yes.
I don't really know all the stories
The
behind
details,
the
right,
details
right.
behind
Right.
it. But what was some of the stuff that was presented in terms of you?
Some of this stuff that was manufactured. This is really good. And I like how Adonis said it again. Manufactured. And some of the same stuff that they've manufactured to get to use that as the catalyst to shut us down is every single thing and more is what going to happen in reality.
You could highlight some of those stuff because I'm not aware of some of them.
Okay. They said that Bigger Bigs would have mashed up Rabaka River, and people would not be able to get treachery anymore. And we know there's a limited amount of treachery, if any, at any time, really caught at Rabaka. It's once in a blue moon, and there has to be water running there to catch some treachery. Yes, you can catch treachery at Rabaka.
Okay, so that was one. That was one, the issue that
was
they
one.
brought forward.
The other issue, they was speaking about the issue of ponding. Even though you can pond in Rabakasan, all we know Rabakasan.
It's ponding. Ponding.
Ponding is where you're operating, and because of your operation and maybe you use rain come water can settle in big volume. They are actually giving permission for this quarry to set a pond. To allow for ponding. They are allowing this quarry for ponding.
Maybe windward ponding different to leeward ponding. It's a different kind of water.
That's two things they mentioned. So that those,
Crystal, leave me alone. There's more to come.
Yeah,
there's the issue of they said that's about oil. About oil spill, and the only oil spill we have, and I wanted this to be frank and be straight, is if you have a heavy equipment, walk throughout the whole entire day, where you bring that equipment to rest at night, Even in your garage, if you got a car, might have a little a leak or something. The spot where the vehicle was parked, the heavy equipment you used
Yeah,
to
you
park,
would see some
you
drippings
see
of
some
oil.
drippings of oil. That was the oil spill, you know. That
Okay.
was the oil spill. Up till now, nothing have shown us what this guy gonna do down there. Maybe his equipment is special. It wouldn't have no drip at all. There's no heavy equipment you could ever have unless it's brand new for the first maybe 6 months that you might not have oil drip from the equipment.
Maybe they have to wait until it starts operating to see whether or not they're gonna have a spill, you know. But as you okay, so you're drawing comparisons,
Yes,
right? So let's
yes.
draw another. I don't know if this is another comparison, but have you ever had any deaths, any major accidents on your site during your operation?
Well, that is the next thing. I like I bring that out. Crystal never had an operation. Not even a person even get squeezed. Our toe even got squeezed by one of our heavy equipment. But they put inside that same thing that the way I'm operating can cause death and equipment dropping over bank and all that type of thing. We know what happened in St. Lucia
Yes.
with this particular operator. We all heard what happened.
Yeah, a
there.
couple. That's
Yeah.
a few years ago.
A couple of four.
There were. They were also taken to court.
Yeah, they were naturally, yeah. Four.
People in the community were complaining about the dust and the trucks
yeah,
and the roads and
yeah.
And some other stuff. So you mentioned the ponding, the oil spill,
And the same equipment.
proper working conditions they have against you.
Right.
Yeah.
And they even spoke about the depth in which I was going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which one? Well, you're operating. The topography of the land could be up or down. So if you come today, the measurement you might find today, and you come back tomorrow because of where you gone, the measurement will change because you have the topography of the land not a flat piece of land all the way through. You know what I mean? He's going to take down the whole mountain down to almost sea level. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So I tell you, so
maybe the objective is after you do that, you could like knock up a hotel or something. I don't
well,
know.
that is exactly because our intention, what we had,
Mountain moves. So
what we even intended that we had to do, what we were going to do with Arabaka is two things. One, we were going to Turkey. You know, Turkey cannot fly. So because of how we were doing it, we would have put the turkeys inside there, and we were going to do a lot of turkeys. It means might have been sufficient when it comes
See,
to
a man of
turkeys.
innovation, man.
Yes, we were thinking turkeys, and there's a secret in that Rabaka sand. When it comes
Gold?
to relating to
This is where the actual gold is?
No, when it
So
comes
it's
when it comes to relation of meat,
Yeah.
poultry, which is the turkey can categorize as a poultry, is meat.
Because they usually
Sweet.
pick on the Rabaka to
When we used to do our chicken, I tell you, one of the
what are you picking on the rat? Enlighten me.
Yeah.
What is
Okay,
there's-
Rabbit turkey?
What is the
Okay,
gizzard?
They have a gizzard,
Yeah.
and you use these fine stones. They will pick on fine stones
Yeah.
to help them to process the food in
That's
the gizzard. That is what it was. And beauty, it used to work well. That's the reason why our boards used to be so sweet.
When is it pick like they consume they
They consume the gizzard.
consume
They consume the Rabaka.
So
Well,
because of like
the
consume their
sand.
gizzard.
Yeah. So,
They consume the sand. in
this
the-
and when they cut the gizzard,
Yeah.
like when they slaughter them, when they cut the gizzard, they meet all the stone inside the gizzard. There
It's
because
like
they-
a filtration
the
for the
filter.
for the.
and like to grind also
Yes,
to help
yeah.
to
To help digest the food.
digest the food. Yeah.
This is interesting.
Long as they're in the wild.
So,
long as you have
value.
long as you have chickens that are so in the wild, that is what they will do. They go and
Oh,
look
that's
up-
why they just
they
Yeah.
pick up even batlows they too. They
Yeah.
swallow batlows to help them with that. That's how they were made by meat. That's how they were made.
okay. This is interesting.
Yeah.
This is interesting.
So you had a plan to do
Yes.
that at.
Turkey was
Okay.
what we was going to put.
Okay,
We were going to use.
Nice stuff, nice stuff.
To put there after we finish.
Finish it,
Yeah.
Leg of some turkeys.
There goes some turkey.
So we're
because-
gonna leg of some turkeys in Richmond in the next 29 and a half years. I don't know how they go. Gluck, gluck. Turkeys go. No, they be real noisy. People said that, well, it has been said that they will be affected by dust and the noise pollution. From your experience, will it be very harmful for them? For the people who are living like over the mountain, like will the wind really blow that significant amount of dust to affect persons in the area?
It's
Like,
let me say this.
like residential impact.
I don't want to preempt and in the absence of an environmental impact assessment,
Yeah.
it will be very difficult for me. But it's all depend on people and person's tolerance and how far they will be away from the quarry and so forth. Because let me say this, I don't want it to come over like if I do not want quarrying. For me, St. Vincent, this for me, this is what could really take St. Vincent out of our extreme poverty that we are in, which was this is what was used to describe. For me, quarrying and hear this, and let me add this now, That question when we were offline, off air, asked about it. If was me, was to make government, was to make a decision on behalf of the people,
Yeah.
that windfall, for me, that's a significant windfall that we are going to get as a country. This is a money that we never had, we never had before. I would have ring fenced that money and forced to begin what I would have done. I would have made sure that all of our arable lands are irrigated. That is one of our biggest problem we have in St. Vincent and Grenadines is water to farms. So use that money to do that, and you see that structure, that facility that out at Kelakwa, that rainforest has out there.
Yeah.
That is the identical kind of facility I was looking for. I was talking about. Maybe I don't ever spoke about it an extreme, but that was one of my pet. A matter of fact, I even tried
One of your dreams?
I would try to even get Yambu where I had those big cement storage to use that to be a facility to take in all of our agriculture produce where we can sort, grade, package. So when you hear so even the traffickers would have had to come to that facility to buy a standard.
So that's almost like a marketing corp.
I was gonna pitch that in.
I don't know.
Yeah,
For me, whatever it could have done for our farmers, that is what would have done. So I would have done now. Have a facility like that, cold storage. What has to go in cold storage, They have to go in chill. You know what I mean?
And just might be listening. To
listening. Yeah.
that is what I would have done with this windfall of money. And number three, the less fortunate among us as a people would have to know instead of this $200 a month, $300, let them get something proper.
Because proper money, or is it
money?
Okay.
Money because everybody need money. So
is this public assistance?
Public assistant, taking care of. For me, those are three things I would have seen. But for me, I would have gone straight for the irrigation force of all of our farm, our arable farmlands, and that a facility like that in Kelakwa is what I would have built for the farmers, and then make sure our people could be able to eat properly.
All right. How come you are not taking advantage? So there is a high demand for aggregate. How come you're not taking advantage of that right now?
Number one, all of our equipment we had, all of millions of dollars in equipment is gone. People take what they want, the element do what they want, and everything. So that's basically gone. You're talking about 11 years, and the only way you can preserve these kind of heavy equipment is to keep them working.
How did that play on your mental though? Like, how are you like? The frustration.
Maybe that is one of the driving force that drive me to keep doing what I'm doing now, so that it will help me to distract me.
Yeah.
From
really pondering on it.
From really pondering on it. So I just keep myself walking. Maybe that's the reason I can become basically a workaholic. I just walk.
You just
walk,
keep going.
Just keep going.
If you keep going, you don't think about it.
You see me all the time. You see me all the time. I keep
you always going.
Running from one next to next. I just try to shut my mind out. That's what I do.
But your case is still ongoing.
Yeah, the case is still ongoing. Some person didn't know where it was. I wait at no, but wait no. In 2014, 2015, we know that because of our agitation, and we could tell about agitating, and that's the reason I want to commend all of the radio stations that would have given me chance, especially this extreme, nice radio, boom, all of them. Just give me time was where we agitated, and we were agitated to the point we were able to get the government to concede in parliament. I have a document here where they actually get them to concede in Parliament in 2014 that what they did, and they accept that what they did
Was wrong?
was wrong. It was not. It was never any truth in it.
So you, okay? I want to ask a
But it's
question.
still- it's
I
still
hope I
before
bring
the
it
court.
across right. Do you think like it's because of your political affiliation why you were attacked? Well, let me not say attacked.
No,
But because all that was.
I
a
was
problem?
targeted. Use the word maybe, but if I was targeted,
yeah.
yes, it's targeted because let me say this. I don't concern who you crash support, who you want to support. For me, we living in a free and democratic country. I have my right to support whosoever I want to you. Same to you. It doesn't matter me. And I believe that is that is one of the factor, because this whole issue with us being targeted, and we had a very impressive operation. Matter of fact, Julian, it had on tape where Julian said that our operation was very, very impressive. When they brought in Julian Clayton from England, that is a white, no, well, it was an individual, just not a white, that's all, from England, to make some assessment about Quarry. When Julian Clayton landed in Yambu, where we had our crusher and doing our stuff, it's like they said that Julian Clayton, like it went nearly went out head over heel because the reason for that.
Oh, he didn't have the OGs like what
No, he didn't.
Bossman had down at Leeward.
No, because you see,
Seems like a growing trend here. Every time a guy sees a quarry, he goes, hey!
yeah. But our operation was so impressive that he in his report, I understand he made mention of it in his report, because our crusher had just came in from England, brand new, looking nice and everything, and working well and everything. So he was really impressed. He was very impressed with our impressive operation. But let me go to where we are now. So we were giving him back. We were giving back permission to mine because we didn't have to get a license. The license wasn't necessary for our sand. License is necessary for quarry, as a granite quarry, but for sand mining, it's just a permission you need. So we get back that. But when I got back the permission in 2015, I realized to myself, no, something wrong here.
Well, he didn't have a signature?
My battle ain't over yet. The issue of the land that was never brought up in the SRNO that was used to shut me down, the issue of lands was never brought up. In the condition that was given to us, that we go back to mine, then is when the land came up that I must mine within my own boundaries and all them type of thing. They say, what? So even though we went up to Raback and people came out that Saturday and helped me clean up and started, I said, no, this thing is like the children of Israel.
And was this concerns from residents in the area in terms of like they brought evidence to say like you were mining on residence area, or was it state lands that you were invading on?
No, the state decided that I have some extra lands that they feel to themselves belongs to them because hey, what happened?
Okay then.
As I make mention of it several times here before,
Yeah.
I bought 5 acres of land. When I go and use the deed, when we deed see my boundary, everything is, I end up with 15 acres. That's what I end up with, 15 acres.
Right, and the surveying and
You
brought the deed in for us to see.
and legally and their justification to show why the lands, how I ended up with it. The owner who had it before never thought of measuring it. They just use it as 15 acres, as 5 acres, and they sold me at 5 acres. But I, who knew land, saw it and said, this can't be 5 acres. I said, but I measure it and then I end up with 15. But the government, who don't have not an iota of evidence to show that they ever had any land in that area where I have, they never, not nowhere at all for all the, not this governments I should say,
Yes.
have nothing at all to show that they ever had any lands where I have over 15 acres, right? They said that I must mine within my boundary, my 5 acre boundary.
5 acre.
But your boundary mark already outlined.
But my boundary mark already outlined.
Because you purchased these lands when?
I purchased these lands in 2007, and 2007. They never start to see a problem until 20. Maybe they start to see a problem when they start to see a problem.
When people wanted to walk through, and you were saying that you can't walk through my land.
Right.
Before you continue though, somebody has been trying to call. All right, so it's coming in now. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Crystal.
Good morning.
Good morning to your
Crash.
co-worker, Crash.
Hey.
Crash, you sound like you know some things about chicken, man.
Yeah, man.
My God, and then say morning to Bigger.
Good morning, my friend. I'm really
Man,
impressed.
it's nice to hear you on the radio again, explaining and letting people know what you know about this stuff, eh?
Thank you, my friend. Thank you,
And
my friend.
don't let them know that it's not everybody in St. Vincent they could take for a joyride.
Exactly.
You know.
Watch me. Quarry is right up my alley, my brother. Then as they come with Quarry, they meet in bigger bigs.
Right. One of the things I pay attention to when you are doing your stuff, right, is that when they came over there, they did to you just what they did to the people in North, down to the river side. They came in and actually threw you off your land, off your property.
My brother, hold on, stick a pin
Weren't you
there.
arrested at one
No,
time?
he making a very interesting, and I tell you, Carla,
Yeah.
that thought went through my head when I saw the way they was treating those people of not. The way they treat those people of North Leeward is how they wanted was to treat me.
Yes.
Like
yes,
if I was
yes.
on the government, and that is how they, and my brother hold on, they stick up in there. They give, like I raised the point, and that is what was given to the people out there now. That bigger bigs was on state land, no. That is, I tell you, man, my brother, you brought it
But
out.
they brought people to fight you. But they
Exactly.
actually brought people to fight you on your own property also.
Give it, yes.
You know?
Giving the
And-
impression
and-
that they was
and-
on state land. Yes, exactly.
Why
exactly.
would they want, and this is what I'm saying, they're doing their own local people, these kind of things. When they took those, when they're walking down into the what are those things, you know what I call them?
Heavy equipment.
Transformers.
Oh,
Transformers. Them Transformers rolling, you don't know when Transformers coming in. Watch it, the movie Transformers.
yes, I know the.
Robots
Okay.
in disguise.
Yes,
That's
yes.
what they do to people down there. Now, I want to ask you this. Were those people down there, were they paying for the land?
Yeah, they
were
were.
they actually paying for the land?
Well, listen to what they're saying. They are saying that some was paying and some was not paying, but the fact remained, whether they were paying or paying not, they were Vincent and occupying land
They-
and had produced on the
Exactly.
land.
So this is why.
They are
this is why-
Vincent, they are not strangers.
Right now, and you're talking again about. They're talking about one of your points you raised about they were destroying the chitri or whatever little chitri again there, right?
At Rabaka.
At Rabaka. Was Rabaka producing the amount of chitri? What is producing down into the leeward side?
My brother, since
What they want to destroy now?
I have been operating around Rabaka for the last maybe 25, 30 years now. Since I started to operate around Rabaka. If I saw people caught three times or 4 times in Rabaka, I saw them catch plenty because there's no Rabaka in the dry river.
Exactly.
And
so now you're going down to the leeward
That
side
is
to
what's
destroy where the best of the chitri come out from. You're going down there to destroy that. And you know, Bigger Bigs, let me tell you, man, I want to congratulate you for all the things that you've done, because when we used to see these big trailer trucks passing with blocks, going to go to Mustique and these places, you have done a lot to locals in this country.
Thank you.
When it comes to supplying blocks and these sort of things.
And now we go there. Let me say this, and Crash asked the question earlier what I would have done when I spoke about the lowering the prices. You know, Black, I had begin, if I was able to set up in Rabaka, you know, Black would have been, I wouldn't want to say dirty cheap, but it would have been extremely reasonable, because my intention is to take our black making to Rabaka, cut out the 600 tons a year cost for transportation of raw material, and pass on part of it to the customer. That's how I always think of how I could make our life.
And let me, before I go, let me ask this now. This is a very important part for me. I am, and you probably may hear me raise this point all the time. Now, where you were doing your stuff, right? There was not a study as required to do any studying up there of what you were doing, right?
Here it is. I had us before they give me, even though they, and this is the question I want to know down there, even before they give me permission, I met Braxa and OECC was operating on site there already. But I still had us to go and get an environmental assessment done. That was done by Dr. Renal Murray, one of the best in the world. I get an environmental impact assessment. I had to get that done before they give me permission. And I had to still fight them like joke to get permission still.
So now I want to know now.
I have my environmental assessment in my storage. I keep
So now, what was the study done? That where they brought these people from St. Lucia, what was the study?
None.
Have they done down there? They've used an old study.
None was
none
done.
at all.
None was done. None was done for this project.
Right. So you're going now to bring a project to St. Vincent. and you want to go down there, there are monitors that I understand that is down there for the volcano and all these sort of things, right? And you are going to
Charles, I was shocked. You know, that is something that I overlooked because remember, naturally, me and you is not from down there. When Adonis spoke about that there is a monitoring station, piece of equipment right there.
Yes.
And
yes.
naturally, and as I said, I'm not against quarry. Using of dynamite is going to create false reading.
Exactly. So the thing now I want to hear before I go is the blasting. Would blasting have a lot, because when you blast in it's a lot of vibration underneath. What is going to be the result by blasting and that vibration shimmering very close to that volcano? What could we expect? What could we expect around that area with this steady dynamiting and blasting and so forth?
Isn't that a difficult question to answer?
No, I want to answer him because I think I have done enough of reading and listening to our local geologists enough. A volcano blasting is going to create what you call create mini earthquakes. There's not two ways about it.
Right.
But I'm not sure unless you get people like the same our volcanologists involved, and this is why we need to get an environmental assessment. Not because Dr. Murray I believe will engage persons like that same volcanologist, our own Dr. Richie. Because I don't know if the depth will be enough, because you know what we have up there. A volcano is like a truck engine, with a stack pipe. Where you see the stack pipe come up, bolt off of the manifold for the engine, and they pour through up behind the cab of the truck. So up there. So for me up there, so what we have at lots of rare is really that stack pipe. But what really, where the actual stack pipe is connected to is the engine that they're about another 5-7 feet down there. So I don't know if down there is where the magma chamber is.
Right.
If really and truly it will be able to vibrate hard enough to cause the magma to shift, because it's when the magma shift and all come one place. We
don't want to alarm people or anything.
So I can't say.
But that is a difficult question to answer if you're not qualified to answer it. You hear me correct? Sorry.
I was called a cry baby. When I was talking, right? And I said that this is why I have to cry. I will be a cry baby for things that affecting me and things that I see is going to cause problems within our country and within our people. And if our people don't know what is what, and people are not coming out and speaking and telling them the truth and bringing truth and the fact to them, this is why I have to cry, because this is a thing to make me scared. And when I always go back and think about monster at volcano, that has to get me.
So watch me.
All right, Charles.
I'll listen up here.
All right, thank you so much.
So what I want him to do is to keep peace until a proper environmental assessment is done.
Yeah, because
bring in the exports and let them.
Let's be responsible here, right? You don't want to make people alarm unnecessarily. We're not qualified to talk about magma and volcano and possible effects of dynamite and so on. I mean, we had a whole geothermal project, and there was a lot of discussion about the likely effects on the volcano, and they were never proven.
Right.
So let us probably have to make the connections with the people who know these things.
Before we
do
jump
not
to any
make people listen. Don't be running up and down with them kind of things.
We need to have an assessment. We need to have an environmental assessment.
And you did also mention that there's a certain depth that you can look.
Yes.
Because
the guy has been in it for a couple of years, so he should know.
So I'm not too worried about if he's going to affect the volcano unless he could prove otherwise. So right now I would want to.
Concerning the treaty, right? Part of the agreement is that they are going to make sure that the river, river defense, that the river, that area down there.
Build bombs, they call them bombs.
Right, so they're going to make sure that the environment is not going to be that severely impacted. That's the first part of the project. How come is it that people are not like highlighting or focusing on that point? They're going straight to, this is negative, but part of it is sort of positive too.
Yeah, but the bombs that they are going to build, they're going to use they have to take off the topsoil, or what you call overboarding. Overboarding is that huge amount of material, whether it's trees and sand and everything, before you could get to the actual stack of wealth, which is the actual stone, granite. I don't know if the hillside have enough space to hold all these things without it spilling into the river. And when rain begin to come,
Landslides.
naturally,
So that's some good topsoil. It's some topsoil. Let's take a quick call here. Hello, good morning. We lost that one. You can try again.
Yeah. So we need to get an impact assessment. That is what's going to clear up a lot of these things here, Crystal.
Okay, let's hit go. Oh boy, let's down again there, boy.
You mentioned earlier that you went to clear up your lands and those stuff. You considering going back into quarrying?
Oh yes, I will like to go back.
Well, who wouldn't? You hear the amount of money you can make from that?
I know.
I even haven't got one of my son even gone. I have to study because I will read. It's not really me, really. No, it's to them. Because it was going to be a natural progression. I was going to start phase out, and this son that I have I have a lot of confidence in, he would naturally take over bigger trucking.
Okay.
So I'm making the preparation now. Hence the reason why I'm starting to put things in place now for the government, to bring the government to stick to that commitment they made in Parliament.
All right. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Good morning. Big.
Yes.
You're an inspiration to me who continue to fight to right. That's how I want to put that out there because
Thank you.
Average man would have do something dotish for
Crash,
a better word.
Crash just said it to me half here.
No, but I just wanna say
Thank
you're a perfect example of intention who overwhelmed with love.
Thank you.
I just wanna put that out there, and the way how you explain how to diversify a portfolio, not just aggregate. You're gonna spill it off to the farmers. You're not let question keeping the money for yourself. You're gonna spend it for farmers could eat a food.
Yes.
Right? But I wanna ask a question to you and a question to the government because they admitted that they wrongfully shut you down.
Yes, they did. I have the document right here.
Shutting you down, it caused the equipment to deteriorate.
Yes.
Because, like you said, in order to preserve those equipment, they have to keep
working.
Motion.
You have to keep working because you are a physicist. I mean, so you know about these things and you know about friction.
Yeah, man, I'm an electrician. I'm into
in physics. Yeah, physics.
But my next question is because they willfully and wrongfully shut you down, causing the equipment to deteriorate. I think they should pay you some kind of compensation to replace, not all of them, no. Give you some kind of some kind of something, even if it's a concession like they give rainforest to let you import things duty free to start over because
Max,
your intention is to stimulate.
Max, if I could call a name because I know we are friends.
Call Max name.
Hey Max.
Man, my name is Stinker Road. Call
Max,
it.
watch me. A concession can't work at this time. Too late for that now. All the equipment is gone, and remember, I had to take a loan to get those equipment. You think that loan gone anyway? You think that $6 million loan gone anyway? Is it still there?
Well,
Wow.
So you just imagine if I have to now go and get a $10 million now to add to the $66 million, you know,
yeah,
$16 million.
So in any other world that votes about progress, they would have compensated for that $6 million and then give you some money for top of that because they wrongfully shut it up.
Exactly. That is the first thing I have to do. We have to know how that first loan is going to be dealt with, and then we could start to talk about going forward after that. Okay?
All right.
Continue to fight bigger
Thank you.
spiritually. I'm there with you. I wish I
End of
could
that,
help
Mark.
financially and physically, but I deal with spiritually, man, and continue the good fight.
You know,
Thank you so much.
Already.
Thank
hey
you.
Max, thank
Yeah,
you.
Thank you.
You know, another thing that crossed my mind. You
Hold-
mentioned
hold a second, Crash, before you go forward. Don't forget it, eh? Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hi.
Good morning.
I have a question for Bigger Big.
Go ahead. He's listening.
Yeah, Bigger Big's talking about the government unfair him, right?
We listening. Go ahead.
Right. Saying unfair Florence for the $25,000.
No problem. No problem.
No problem. But
No.
you can't depend really running the
problem.
government and you
No.
owe Florence $25,000.
No problem.
And don't want to pay it back.
No problem.
I'm pushing she wrong and telling she must come tell you about apology and apology.
Exactly, because the way
Yes,
you...
sir.
Well,
right
wait,
is right.
wait,
Just like
wait.
how you are back here.
Let me
But
settle
just like how you are money from
let me settle
government or whatsoever and say government do you this.
let me settle that
Plain
right here
shower,
once and for
plain
all.
shower,
I
plain
said...
shower.
Hold on.
You're gonna give me a chance to speak?
Maybe you want to answer that, or you
no,
just
I'm not gonna say it here because I don't cannot to hide. I already told your sister that I have the 25 tours available, but the way you all try to take my name all about and need an apology and come and collect 25 tours tomorrow, right now, I said it to you already.
No, sir,
hello?
obvious people in there.
But you all, I
I
said the way you all slander my name, you will have to. All I want from you all is an
Okay,
apology.
caller.
You could come and
Okay,
then bring the
caller,
apology and come and collect your money. That's all I said to you. That's all I said.
You're
No
good.
problem. I got.
What
I
the
said
hell
I
is
have
that?
I have nothing to hide. You know what I mean? I tell you, these let me say this. These are some poor people who came and said they wanted 2 parcels of land to buy from us. They came when they didn't want the lands anymore. They said they want back the money that they deposit. I tell them, give me some time. The money as well is available to give them back now. I tell them, you went out. They didn't even wait.
Yeah.
You went to slander me. Just bring an apology for what, that I could get something to hold in my hand. That you all apologize for slandering my name all about, and then come collect a check.
All right, and it done right there.
Done right there.
Done right there.
That's all.
All right. Okay.
No problem.
Let's
you mentioned.
move on.
Wait,
I
you
have nothing
mentioned.
to hide,
Yeah, you
Christelle.
mentioned. You
So
mentioned.
thank you for the call.
Yeah.
The phone lines are ringing again. You wanna continue
Yeah.
with the phone call?
Yeah, no
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Crystal again. Big up.
Hey,
Yeah,
my
make it
brother.
quick, eh?
Let me tell you, I'm going to be short. You see, when you're trying to educate people and doing something good for the country, you see the kind of backlash it is get?
No problem.
Yeah, but let's not focus on that, Charles. Let's not focus on that because we have limited time. All right.
I like how you answered, and I like how you make everybody aware.
The whole world.
You
Okay.
need an apology for the way
That's all I need.
slandered your name.
That's all I need.
That's
Mine.
it.
Charles,
You make it
thanks,
public.
Charles.
Thank you for
Charles,
that.
Charles, all I have is my name.
Let me get crash
All I have is
questioning.
my
All
name,
right,
and I
that
will
was
protect it
something
with my
else.
life. That's all I have my name.
Okay, let's move on.
Yeah.
Done with that. That's done
Yeah.
with. Please.
Okay.
Let's finish up.
We mentioned.
'Cause
You
we got like 5
mentioned that.
minutes.
I mentioned when I asked you if you think that your political affiliation is the reason why you're being targeted. You said there were you think there's other reasons. What were some of those reasons you think?
Grudge.
Or you're
Plain
making,
and simple.
Grudge
Grudge.
you in terms of you're making too much money.
My brother, if you had known our operation before we were shut down, you will be amazed. You will be amazed, Crash. Trust me. Crash, our business was an envy
To who? To who?
to anybody who never wanted me to have it. It was an envy. Crash, a business like ours,
But I mean, you're doing
Watch
doing
me.
good stuff. You're employing persons.
a
Yeah.
race of mine, a color of mine is now that everybody find a few other persons have black plant like that, an operation like that in the
So it was
region.
racism.
So you just open another bracket. You're trying to say
I don't know what it is.
no. Say, oh,
Because I am not a person who believe. I mean, in the playing the race card. But I
Yeah.
tell you,
you feel
several
like that was
watch
one
me.
of the reasons why.
Let me say this to you. The gentleman who responsible for motor auto repairs down at the technical came to buy some blocks today. And when he saw the operation that we had, he said, "Bigger, you set for life." Another businessman like mine came and visit me at time again. He said, "Bigger, you're thinking like a Chinese." The way how what you know what I mean? My good friend Casper De Silva. I haven't seen him for a while. I have to check up to see if he's doing well. Came out to visit me at time again. He said, "Bigger, this is one impressive business you have here." But I tell you, the gentleman from England came. And that is what he said. He said the business was... Watch me. I don't... When I was building my business, I don't try to take money to do anything else. I was concentrating on building. Because I was in my head, bigger trucking cannot fail and would not fail. So my intention was to focus on building one of the best construction business ever to be in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. But it was cut short because I
All right.
didn't subscribe to the politics. And because of that, it was easy. The rest was easy.
Okay. So at this time here, we're going to take a break. Thank you so much for joining the live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch at Extreme14 SVG. Feel free to share, drop another comment. You want to take a RT cut? Hold on.